My friends, most of the time I see people when they fall ill, they rush to the doctor, they hand over the entire body and metabolism to the doctor. Sometimes I used to wonder why we don't have some common idea, some formula how the metabolism works. It's already been taught in schools and colleges. At least in schools, they teach you biography, they teach you zoology, they teach you other subjects. I was wondering, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I have never learned the biography or zoology in its real terms. So I went in search of a professor. I asked him, teach me zoology, teach me biology. I want to know what happens. Everyone talks about the cell, they talk about RNA, they talk about DNA, they talk about so many things which I don't understand because I'm basically a technical person given to literature in writing. I'm concerned with the social gathering, social meeting people around the world. So I took time. God gave me the time. The time factor is very important. Time is a blessing. Every man's capital is time. If you don't know the time management, you can do marvelous things. You can help others in a very, very wonderful way. So I have learned time management. So I could touch many subjects, learn things, then go to the new subject, again learn things, fundamental things. Don't go too deep in it. Because as a common man, I need fundamental ideas. I need to have things on fundamental ideas. So I only did studies, especially now the technology is so advanced. We are having Google's internet and other facilities to access various information at your fingertip. It was not available some decades ago. So we had to go sit in the library and do tremendous research. For instance, I would sit in Madras University Library. I would have at least 10 books around me. I would stay whole day going through various books, browsing through various things and studying on one particular subject. It took me a whole day sometimes. But still, you don't gain so much knowledge as you now gain in the modern technology, through the modern technology. So one topic was always in my mind. Maybe you also have the same thing. Because they teach us that the blood circulates throughout the body. The blood carries nutrients to cells and remove the waste again. Then it goes to the lungs and come back again. Again, you have the oxygenated blood, then deoxygenated blood. All this gives a general idea. But finally they teach the heart is a pump. It pumps blood. So recently I had a talk with a doctor who has had about 30 to 35 years experience after his medical course. He was also telling me that it is the brain and the blood very important to our body. The brain controls the flow of blood. The blood takes nutrients and oxygen to all the cells in the body, then remove the waste through another channel back into the lungs. Then it exhausts the carbon dioxide and other wastes are removed by other organs. So this all will give me not a proper idea. So I want to study it. Before I got anything about our metabolism or biology, I have to learn the subject. Because now I am bound to teach my children, my grandchildren, what it is. So then I took the study of genetic engineering. A professor helped me with books and his lecture. Then it took me time really. It took me nearly 1.5 years or maybe more to understand exactly what a cell is. Then I realized every cell in the body is a protein factory. There is no factory in the world as good as a cell which is so small, so tiny. They say some 3 billion cells make a man, make a person. And every cell is a factory. I'm surprised. Then it has the membrane, then it has the other layer, and deep inside is DNA, then there's RNA, then the nucleic acid is used, and the protein is produced, then gets out of the cell membrane, and then it reaches the place where it should reach. So this communication itself was baffling me. I went deep into it. I studied I got the fundamental idea on genetic engineering. Now, this is not a science lecture, please don't mistake me. I'm trying to share my views, ideas with youngsters, especially the youngsters. You must have your proper general knowledge, not muck up things and then repeat for the exam, then forget it. No, it's not that. This knowledge should be with you all along, because you are going to fall ill, or your friend will fall ill, or your children or your neighbors or your relatives fall ill. You're going to take them to doctor. You got to brief them why he's having this problem in his head, on his chest, on his body, so that he meets the doctor with confidence. Because doctor is not there to teach you medicine, to teach you biology. He is there to diagnose and give you medicine treatment. So in this, there was one particular question was always haunting me. It was always bothering me. Because they say the brain controls the blood circulation, therefore brain is the master, and brain is made up of tremendous network of neurons, and neurons, the electrical pulses. They work on electrical pulse or chemical energy. They don't mix up with the blood, but they control the blood circulation. All this, a common idea. But my question is, who controls the brain? Was my question. Finally, I was I do a lot of research through this technological communication media. I found one American researcher. He had come up with particular point. Maybe 10 years before he started his research, he said that the heart, he called the heart a mini brain. Again, the term sometimes is confusing me. But the term should be proper. If it is a mini brain and it controls the brain, if a heart is a mini brain, it can't control the major brain. Heart has to be the master. So what should the heart have? Heart also should have a neural network. Now this was something, since I'm used to reading Quran right from the beginning in English translation, I got a map of the Quran verses in my mind. It's a wonderful book, a book of wisdom, knowledge, and authority. That I understood after reading so many times. And I remember a few verses in the Quran. There is the second chapter, 8, 9, and 10. Simple. Then, in the 22nd chapter, 46th verse, I put them together in the book. Then the doctor asked me, "Sir, you are saying so long you have been teaching in medicine and we have been treating patients with this concept. The perspective is that brain controls the blood circulation. So brain and blood are more important." Then I asked him, brain is there, blood is there, but when the man is dead, why? What happened? Why he's not functioning? Not able to function it. So heart has a soul. Heart has the soul. Soul is not created by woman, the mother. The mother gives a biological growth from the time of pregnancy and until she delivers. The moment she delivers a baby, the woman's metabolism shifts to yielding blood by breast, and the baby crawls in to get the blood. Now the umbilical cord is cut, so the baby doesn't suction blood from the mother's mainstream direct. The moment an embryo moves into the uterus and it penetrates the wall of the uterus and gets into the bloodstream of the mother has no control. The baby sucks the blood. That's a beautiful part of it. Under the placenta, the umbilical cord, the placenta is like a string, like a puppet on a string. The baby swims in the uterus. It has the freedom, but mother doesn't see all this, but she feels it. So these are the surprising things I learned, and my question was, who controls who? If the blood is controlled by brain, and the brain is the master of the body, there should be no death at all. But nobody has so far come up to overcome death. So there's something supernature. So they say Allah in the Quran, You call it Bhagavan, you call it God, you call it anything, Theos. But there has to be a super master who has designed all this. Then, as I said, these 4 verses, you refer to the Quran, because I can't repeat it now. It says, the heart in the chest is suffering from sickness because you are forgetting God, forgetting that there's only one God, there's no other God. This concept, this fact is not in your mind. You create your own deity, you create your own God, and then you believe in the doctrine that you bring up. These are hypotheses, or guess, or opinion. So opinions and hypotheses and guess can't be facts. Then I told the doctor, sir, this is what I believe. Because the mother gives biological growth to the baby. And she doesn't know what happens inside, but she feels it. At every stages, I know the number of stages, what takes place. At a particular point of time after the baby, the embryo gets into the uterus, the soul is felt into the baby. Then the baby takes a human form. It takes nearly, after 40-45 days, it takes another 7 months to get into a full human form. So one point I want to lastly say this to you is this. God has made the human race from a single parent, and both parents have their own capabilities. They are equal but different in their function. So it's the mother who has the maximum responsibility to bring the child into the world. So I respect mother. Sometimes I used to really feel sad, cry. I cry thinking how my mother suffered, how my wife suffered, how my sister suffered, how the other women are really struggling with this pregnancy period, the gestation period. So I want you to refer to the Quran, read for yourself. It's not a preaching, it's a recommendation. Because I want my youth, I want the youngsters to go to the book of source, the book of wisdom. People, you might have some bias in your mind, you must have hate even in your mind, but that doesn't matter. That's created by the social system. I would lastly refer to one particular fact. I got in touch with one book, so I bought the book. My lawyer bought the book for me and gave it to me. Written by Hall Guyton, a very wonderful physiologist writer. It's nearly 1,200 pages. But the sad thing is, I went through all the pages. Maybe I understood about 20-25% of the subject. But fundamental things I understood.